What's going on, Crypto Fiends? Ryan Rotolo here at the Crypto Fiends Studios, and today we are going to be looking into the price movement of Bitcoin and the overall cryptocurrency market, as it has been very interesting the past couple days, and we could be experiencing a rally very soon for altcoins across the board. Now, before we get into everything, thank you to everyone who has been joining the community, the Crypto Fiend community. You guys are the absolute best, and if you're not already subscribed or a part of the community, consider subscribing if this video is informative. So to start things off, the overall cryptocurrency space, right now we are doing very well. My video from yesterday, I talked about the market cap. We were around $230 billion, and we've gained around $8 billion at the recording of this video. Around $13.5 billion in 24-hour trading volume. We are starting to see some movement in the cryptocurrency space. We're starting to see some money come in, and the money is staying in the cryptocurrency market. Now, in yesterday's video, I also talked about how it's better to have some slow growth along the way instead of having, say, $15 to $20 billion come into the crypto space, pump everything up, and then everyone pulls out and tries to cash those gains. It's better to kind of slowly ease our way up, adding 5 to at most $10 billion a day in price, in market cap, and we can continue that momentum upward as we enter into Q4 of 2018, where we can most definitely experience an altcoin rally. So some cryptocurrencies I just want to briefly mention, other than Bitcoin, that we're mainly going to be talking about in this video. We have Dogecoin. Dogecoin, I talked about in my video from yesterday. Dogecoin is still doing very well, up 22% at a 7-day percentage of 172%. This is due to Dogecoin and Ethereum partnering, where Dogecoin can kind of run off of the Ethereum blockchain and the Ethereum smart contracts. This is huge news for Dogecoin holders, because I feel like a lot of people have been very skeptical and biased when it comes to Dogecoin, because Dogecoin is kind of the meme coin that was created as a joke for fun, but now Dogecoin actually does have a use case. It's going to be working with the Ethereum blockchain, which is massive considering Ethereum chose Dogecoin over a lot of other cryptocurrencies they could have went with. So that's awesome for Dogecoin. Now next up, I also want to talk about Verge real fast. Verge is currently up at 28% at the recording of this video, with a 7-day weekly percentage of 43%. Now, this is mainly due to one exciting announcement from Verge. Verge was recently listed on AnyCoin Direct. It's a cryptocurrency exchange based over in Europe, very similar to Coinbase, where you can interchange cryptocurrencies to fiat currencies, and they go directly into your bank account right away. Now, the difference with AnyCoin and Coinbase is that AnyCoin does not hold your cryptocurrencies or your fiat currency at all. There is no wallet on their platform. It's simply you go on there, you give them your cryptocurrencies on the exchange, and you get fiat currency in exchange, and it goes directly into your bank account. So this is a big deal for Verge and can definitely help the overall adoption for Verge across the board. Now, I know Verge has had a rather rough year when it comes to their partnership with Pornhub that they said was going to be $1 billion partnership. Kind of a lot of lying across the board with the team, not being very professional, and even a handful of 51% attacks that has driven a lot of the community members away. Personally, for me, that also did kind of get me a little bit skeptical when it comes to the Verge team, and I personally am not invested in Verge. But with this positive news, this could definitely be the turnaround for Verge. Considering they're at roughly 2 cents right now with an all-time high of 24 cents, Verge is definitely down and at a very interesting price from previous all-time highs. So we're not going to be looking at anything else for this video, although you can see everything is doing so well today, and it's so great to see. But we are going to be looking at the price movement of Bitcoin specifically. We're going to be looking at a handful of things. We're going to be looking at where we could be going in the near future with the price movement of Bitcoin. We're also going to be looking at the past movement from last year around this time and what was kind of happening, because I personally believe that we are going to continue this kind of momentum and cycle in cryptocurrencies where we kind of have this rather bullish year every single year. I'm sorry, a bearish year every single year where everything's kind of tapering off, cooling down, and then we begin this momentum again around August, September, and we continue the momentum all the way through January, and then again we start the new cycle. Now, of course, this can change as more adoption comes into the space, and we begin to kind of not necessarily liquefy, but kind of solidify the overall price movement of some of these cryptocurrencies. Now, that is a long time away, but I'm kind of giving you guys a good perspective of what I'm talking about. Now, so let's go back to September of 2017. Back in September, we were around $4,500, so we are up about $2,000 from last year around this time, which is great to see. That means, who knows, at all-time highs, that could bring us to, say, $22,000, just as an example, of course. And as you guys can see, this is where we really began to see some momentum in this bull rally in Q4 of 2018. Right around September to October is when we began this momentum, and we continued this momentum and really took off back in November. So we are around this time frame right now, and it's about time, because I've been getting very bored with the overall space going up and down and staying below $200 billion. It's not been that fun. The only thing that I gotta say has been very nice is being able to accumulate at these levels. I gotta say, being able to buy in at these price levels, this could possibly be, you never know, but it could possibly be the last time you're able to buy in at these price levels for some of these cryptocurrencies. So take that into consideration. None of this is financial advice, but it is something to consider, considering we have a lot of positive news in the crypto space when it comes to adoption across the board. We have the Bakkt exchange coming out in November, which is going to be massive. We have a possible ETF coming out most likely in February of 2019. So we do still have some time, but this is the time when you should definitely be looking into some of these projects you're interested in. So when it comes to the price movement of Bitcoin, gotta get back on track. Bitcoin actually spiked up $200 in the past day in 1 hour. In a 1 hour time frame, Bitcoin spiked up $200. So that's very interesting to see. There's no reasoning behind it, but that's awesome to see. Now, the one thing we are still lacking is the volume. As you guys can see, we don't have the greatest volume right now like we did back right around here when we were beginning that momentum upward, stuff like that. But of course, it is coming slowly but surely. What I really want to look at right now are the moving averages. Right now, we have the green line here, which is the 50-day. We have the teal line, which is the 100-day, and we have the orange line, which is the 200-day. So what these moving averages are mainly used for is kind of technical analysis. You have fundamental and you have technical. Now, unfortunately, right now in the cryptocurrency space, a lot plays off of fundamentals, as the majority of investors are not very keen when it comes to trading off of the charts and the price movement specifically of more than just kind of jumping in and holding on to a cryptocurrency. And that's completely fine. But this is a good way to get a good determination of what we could really be experiencing in the near future. So right now we have the teal and the orange line, which is the 100 and 200 moving day, right underneath these candlesticks. This is awesome to see. Now, what this is indicating is that we have a strong double layer of support holding up this price movement, which is what we need. We need to continue this momentum upward and not come back down, because if we come back down, we have a very possible chance of breaking to around $6,000. Another thing, we have this Bollinger Band right here. I like to use the Bollinger Band. It's not the most accurate to use, but it gives you a good understanding of where we could be experiencing another possible breakout or another trend, as other people like to call it. So to give you guys a good understanding of how the Bollinger Band works, say right around here, this is when we kind of began to see momentum upward for cryptocurrencies and, well, Bitcoin specifically, as we're looking at. Let me draw it for you guys. So right around here, see how the Bollinger Band gets rather thin right here? It's rather thin. I don't know if you guys can see it. See right here, it's kind of pinching. That's what you want to see in a Bollinger Band, because that indicates that we are going to be having a breakout rather soon, and a lot sooner than a lot of people think. Now, the Bollinger Band is not necessarily squeezing too much right now, but if we can continue to have this momentum upward, we could see the Bollinger Bands begin to close in, and that could indicate a future breakout. Another indicator I'd like to use, of course, is the RSI. RSI is currently at around 62. So it is a little high compared to what you want to see. The RSI really gives you a good understanding of if something is overbought or underbought. Right now, we are in the middle in this purple level, which is perfectly fine. We are working our way up over the past 2 weeks or so. We've been working our way upward, and we are working our way up to 70. If Bitcoin does break 70, it's a good indicator that Bitcoin is a little bit overbought right now, and we could see a little bit of a correction. Now, there's no way to really determine when we could be breaking through that. Maybe in the next week or so, a couple days, about probably within the next 8 days or so, we could break through the 70 if we can continue upward, of course. But that does not necessarily mean we are going to have a correction, because as you can see from the past, as I like to look at the history, back in December when we had this phenomenal bull run, we easily broke through the RSI, and we just continued going all the way up to 93. So the RSI, again, is a good way to determine if something's underbought or overbought, and right now we are looking rather good for that. The last thing I want to look at with you guys is going to be the MACD. The MACD kind of just shows you right now if something is trading well or if it's trading poorly. Right now, Bitcoin is trading well. It does look like we are beginning to taper off to the negative side of things, so we could see begin to see a little bit of a pullback. Now, across the board, when looking at the big scheme of things, I think this is a very positive moment for Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies. I believe that we will continue this momentum throughout the next couple weeks, and we can get to that $8,000 level. We really need to get there, guys. We really do, because if we break back down to around $6,000, it's not going to look that good for cryptocurrencies in the near future when it comes to having a breakout. So we need to get around this level. If I can get it on there right, we'll say that level right there. So we're not that far away. Even if we can get to, say, top of this candlestick right here, 8,400, that'd be awesome as well. But if we do begin to taper off again, we could see ourselves going around this level right here, around 6,100. So I want to show you guys one last article. This is an article talking about the overall current stage of Bitcoin. We're not going to be reading into too much, but one part that really stood out to me was Tom Lee. Tom Lee is over at Fundstrat. He's a very well-known institutional investor, and his end of the year Bitcoin price prediction is $20,000 for 2018. Now, what I thought was really interesting is that there's this company by the name of SFox, a cryptocurrency trading technology, that released a report that Tom Lee's findings are accurate and it is going to happen. Now, of course, this is all based off of looking at technical analysis and looking at the overall cryptocurrency space when it comes to the media, stuff like that. Who knows? There could be insiders in on this, but this is very interesting to see that they did talk about this and they came out with an official statement, an official release and report that Tom Lee's findings are correct. They also talked about before institutional firms were actively trading crypto or heavily involved, Bitcoin price differences between exchanges varied as high as 4.5%. Danny Kim, head of growth SFox, told Business Insiders. This is talking about how before institutional investors came into the cryptocurrencies, into the crypto space, we were not experiencing Bitcoin go anywhere higher than 4.5% in a single day. Now that is easily possible as we can continue to add on more adoption to cryptocurrencies. So I just thought this was a rather interesting article. We have Tom Lee predicting $20,000 by the end of the year. My personal prediction is that I think Bitcoin is going to be around $22,000 by the end of 2018. or a little ways into 2019, around midway through January, kind of how we experienced last year, where the bull run kind of took its place all the way till like January 15th, around that time frame. So that's my personal prediction. Leave a comment down below what your Bitcoin price prediction is for the end of 2018. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you're not subscribed, hit that subscribe button, and I will catch you in the next.